Hello and welcome to the Capital Auto Repair and Service Truck Series. We're here with the SOMO Racing League tonight at Chicagoland for 135 laps. This is the 12th race of the season, dead set in the middle of this season. So some drivers looking to solidify their spot in the top 8 as the playoffs are coming up. We're going to run through our points in just a minute, but my name is Adam Baker. I'm here with SR Broadcasting, bringing you the action tonight. Like I said, it's a 135 lap race here at Chicago. This is the Capital Auto Repair and Service Truck Series. We have 2 stages during the race tonight, laps 35 and 70. These drivers don't have any fast repairs, and I believe we are running around 50 to 70% fuel, somewhere in there. So there may be some strategy played at certain points throughout the race, either tires or fuel strategy. Right now these drivers are in qualifying. Just taking a look at Ryan Gemmel, who was sitting on top of the boards there, but it looks like Jason McConnell is currently sitting on the pole. He's still out on track right now in the 54 Toyota truck. Looks like he's coming in. He's put his time in. Let's see who else is on track. Mike Eames bringing it in. Shane Papala out, taking a lap right now. Jumps up to 3rd on the board, so good lap there from Shane. We've got Tyler Pluff on track, just making his way out pit road, and about to lose it there. Gets in the grass just a little bit. He may stop and reset to get a better start to his outlap than that. Billy Walters also on track in the very vibrant Cheetos Chevrolet Silverado. Tyler Pluff making his way back out. And while Tyler's making his lap, we're actually going to bring up the point standings and talk through where we're at 12 races into this season. Seth Hatchell is your points leader with 3 wins on the year, which is the most of any driver so far. Lupe Gonzalez right there in 2nd, 33 points back with 2 wins on the season. Jay Felton, who's run very well all year but has not captured a win yet, in 3rd place. Tyler Pluff with 1 win, sitting in 4th. Andrew Melvin with 2 wins, sitting in the back there in 5th. Ryan Gemmel, last week's winner, currently sitting in 6th place. Shane Papala, who won at Daytona at the beginning of the season, 7th in points. Timothy Lewis, 8th in points. Ron Hollifield, 9th, and Mike Eames rounds out the top 10. The top 8 are going to make it into the playoffs when that time comes around, along with anyone who's, well, actually top 8 winners will make it into the playoffs. And I believe there's 1 driver outside of the top 10 with a win, and I believe that's Brandon Stokes. So we'll have to see if he has enough participation throughout the year to make it into the standings, or into the playoffs, I should say. But most of these drivers solidly in contention to make it into the playoffs. at this point in the year. It looks like qualifying is over. Drivers are coming to the grid now. It looks like Jason McConnell did take the pole here tonight. So congrats to Jason for running that great lap at 31.856. Very solid time from Jason. Ryan Gemmel's going to roll off second, so good time there by last week's winner to get a good starting position here tonight. Shane Papala is going to roll off third with Lupe Gonzalez, who is outside him fourth. Andrew Melvin's going to start fifth with Mike Eames in sixth. Seth Hatchell, points leader, is going to roll off seventh with Timothy Lewis, who is outside in eighth. Brandon Stokes, also a winner here this year, rolling off ninth with Ron Hollifield, rounding out the top 10. Jeff Glockner is going to roll off 11th with Billy Walters, who's outside in 12th. Larry Holloway, the last of the drivers to take a time, going to roll off 13th. Tyler Pluff did not get a time in, and he's going to start 14th. Jay Felton, also not taking a time, starts 15th with Adam Jones on his outside at 16th. Michael Atkins Jr. starting 17th, and Paul Zoda 18th to round out the field here tonight. So a decent-sized field of drivers. And let's go up front. Jason McConnell in the 54 truck, our pole sitter. We'll keep an eye on the front of the field as these guys are making their way around for their pace lap. We're going to quickly take this time to thank our sponsor for the series and the league, Capital Auto Repair and Service. We want to thank those guys for coming on board. They're located in Raleigh, North Carolina, and can help you with any auto maintenance needs if you're in the area. Field making their way down the backstretch. Right now, it looked like a lot of drivers were struggling with tight conditions during practice and qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see how difficult it is to pass here. Chicago's notorious for being able to run many different lines all around the track, and we'll see if some drivers are able to make the outside line work as the race goes on. Right now, pace car is diving it into pit road. Jason McConnell's going to be the one to get him going, waiting on the green, and there it is. Green flag is out. We're underway here for 135 laps at Chicago. McConnell gets a good start. Gemmel also getting a solid start on the outside chain. Papala all over the bumper of the 54. Gemmel trying to hold on, but he's going to be at a disadvantage here. Trying to get to the outside. Jason McConnell slides up in front of him, able to block him, and Shane Papala now down on the inside, going to try and make a move. Does not have the momentum going into turn 3. Look here, Mike Eames almost taking it 3 wide on Seth Hatchell, and the 21 of Brandon Stokes. A few side-by-side battles, almost 3 wide, a little farther back too, between Ron Hollifield and Larry Holloway, as well as Timothy Lewis. That was pretty close, but Tyler Pluff trying to make his way through the field and stuck behind the 11 right now, as well as Michael Atkins Jr., who I believe was the pole sitter last week, but did not take a time here tonight. So starting off at a disadvantage. Looks like we may have a battle for the lead brewing. Papala making a move to the inside of the 54 of Jason McConnell. Dives it in turn 1. So he had to back out of it a little bit. 54 is able to keep his foot in it. But Papala getting a great run on the inside. I'm not sure if the 54 made any kind of contact with the wall that gave Papala the opportunity to go down there. But here comes Ryan Gemmel now trying to make a move. Gets on the apron just a little bit. Probably going to hurt his momentum as they come out of turn 4. Able to stay alongside the 54, but it does look like Jason's able to clear him. Going down the front stretch. Now these guys starting to get single file. Andrew Melvin battling with Brandon Stokes right now. So Stokes really making his way through the field. I think he was the winner 2 weeks ago at Iowa. All the way up from 9th place, currently battling to try and get into the top 5. Looks like Lupe Gonzalez making a move on Ryan Gemmel just in front of them. Gemmel trying to make a move on the 54 on the outside, and he's going to get a great run coming out of turn 4. Almost able to get alongside. Looks like the 54 is still in front. But Ryan getting right up along that quarter panel, trying to get some kind of position on the 54, but not going to work at the moment. Meanwhile, Brandon Stokes was able to clear the 88, now trying to make a move on Lupe Gonzalez. So Stokes really flying through this field tonight. Already up 5 spots, almost 6. Yep, showing him his 4th place, so up 6 positions since the start of this race, only a handful of laps ago. Let's take a look a little farther back, see if there's any action. Tyler Pluff side by side with Jeff Glockner for the last spot in the top 10. Here goes Tyler to the outside, able to clear Jeff, and behind them Larry Holloway and Ron Hollifield still battling side by side. Right behind them is Adam Jones, who's had a few strong runs this year as well, trying to make a move on Hollifield. It looks like Michael Atkins trying to make a move on Glockner now to get up into 11th, and he's going to clear him going into turn 1. Let's take a look up front. Shane Paul is starting to stretch the lead out now up to a 4/10 of a second lead, and gaining. Ryan Gemmel still working on the 54 of McConnell. Brandon Stokes trying to hold off Lupe Gonzalez, who looks like he's got some momentum back in that truck. Here comes Seth Hatchell also making his way forward. I believe he's up a couple spots since the start of this race and making the move to the inside of Lupe right now. It's going to get harder and harder to pass as the run goes on, but these guys almost looked like the 21 lost some speed and they were going to go 3 wide, but side by side right now for 5th and 6th between Lupe and Seth. Seth backs out of it, gets back in line, but going to reload and try and make another charge here, I'm sure. Let's take a look a little farther back. Tyler Pluff up to 9th place after starting, I believe, back at 14th. So he's also making his way through the field with Timothy Lewis right behind him. Those 2 drivers, the last 2 in the top 10. So Papala out to a half-second lead over McConnell. We haven't seen Shane out front all that much. I think he missed a few races, and so we haven't seen him out front in a little while. It's been a few races at least. But our first winner on this season, and I believe he should be pretty well locked into the playoffs, assuming he meets the minimum participation requirements. Seth Hatchell working to the outside of the 53 now, right behind Brandon Stokes, who looks like he might be holding these guys up just a little bit. You can see Stokes charge towards the front early, maybe burned up the tires just a little bit. Starting to stretch these guys out as they're side by side. And he's actually, looks like Stokes is reeling in Ryan Gemmel, who's still stuck behind Jason McConnell, as Shane Papala's out to a 7/10 lead. This is, I believe, Shane's home track. Growing up in the Chicago area. Oh, Ryan gets on the apron real loose in 3 and 4, able to hold on to it, but going to lose a ton of speed coming out of turn 4. Brandon Stokes dives to the inside, able to clear him. Here comes Hatchell to the inside, 3 wide for the moment. And Hatchell going to make the move, but Gemmel's back up to speed. These guys are going to be side by side, and teammates racing against each other right now. And Andrew Melvin also starting to reel these guys in, as well as Mike Eames. So those guys just pacing themselves, waiting for an opportunity to make a pass. They're definitely closing in on this 3-car battle we've got for the last spot in the top 5. So quite a bit of action already here tonight. Let's take a look a little farther back. I don't really see too much going on. There's actually quite a bit going on. It looks like Adam Jones taking a peek to the inside of Jeff Glockner. That's for 12th and 13th, and then behind them, Larry Holloway all by himself. And Ron Hollifield side by side with Paul Zoda, who started pretty much shotgun on the field tonight, up a couple positions, trying to get into the top 15 here. He gets a good run on the outside, and I think he's going to be able to clear Ron coming out of turn 2. Yeah, big momentum on that high side. Totally able to clear the 11, and up in front, Larry Holloway still side by side with Jeff Glockner and drifting up the track a little. They stay off each other just barely. That was close, inches probably between those trucks. Let's take a look up front here. McConnell now under fire from Brandon Stokes, and behind them, Hatchell's leading this train of trucks. With Gemmel battling Lupe Gonzalez right now for 5th place. And behind them, Andrew Melvin and Mike Eames pretty much in line waiting for the opportunity. I believe this is Seth Hatchell's home track as well. I think he is an Illinois resident. So he's looking for another win here on the season. Looks like Gemmel able to clear Lupe Gonzalez right behind him. Andrew Melvin now working the outside of Lupe. So Lupe's struggling just a bit, or maybe just trying to save tires or fuel. I'm not totally sure what the fuel mileage is going to be in this race. But we've got about a 7-car pack right now from Jason McConnell back to Mike Eames, all separated by about 1 second. Some close racing going on right here, and then the trucks behind them starting to reel him in as well. Clough making his way towards the back of the 3 truck, and he's pulling Michael Atkins and Timothy Lewis with him. Not be surprised to see these guys get up there and mix it up for the end of this stage. Trying to get some stage points. Something must have happened to Ryan Gemmel, who lost quite a bit of momentum. Maybe got on the apron again. He's dropped all the way back to 8th place now. This looks like we're getting a little bit of shade on the track. Meanwhile, Shane Papala out to almost a 1.5 second lead. Jason McConnell under serious pressure now from Seth Hatchell and Brandon Stokes. And I think he might be holding them up just a little bit. Hatchell makes a big move to the inside, trying to get the run coming out of turn 2. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. The 21 with a huge run makes a move to the inside of the 54. A little bit wobbly down the straightaway, but going to dive it into turn 3. Going to try and pull a slide job here. 54 not going to have any of it. 21's going to have to back out of it. McConnell gets a big run back on the outside. 21's going to dive down to the apron to try and get any advantage he can, but does not have the speed at the moment. Going to dive it in again, this time into turn 154. Back on the outside. That really held up both those drivers. Seth Hatchell looking to the middle almost, but he's going to go with the 54 on the high side and give him a push down the straightaway. Now it's Hatchell side by side with the 21. Hatchell goes way wide, trying to get a big run coming out of the turn. Looks like McConnell really struggling on that truck as the run has gone on. Papala is still pulling away up to almost 2 seconds ahead as these guys battle. Papala the fastest on track that time by at least 1/10 of a second over anyone. Hatchell getting to the back of the 54, give him a push. Looks like the 21 of Stokes got really loose on the inside and is going to lose quite a bit of ground. Gets passed by Melvin, Lupe Gonzalez, and Mike Eames now battling to the outside. So a lot of action here. We've got 14 laps to go to the end of the stage. Lupe Gonzalez trying to make his way back into the top 5 after an early struggle there. And if he gets by the 21, he will have that spot. That 21 getting loose on the inside, able to hold on to it, but really struggling with that truck. And he's going to go from battling for 2nd place earlier back to currently 9th place with the 61 all over his tailgate. So Stokes either burned up the tires real bad or just trying something down on the low line that is not going to work with the current setup. And McConnell putting down a great lap there with help from Seth Hatchell, who's got Andrew Melvin now making a charge up to the front. These guys were all faster than Shane Papala the last lap, but Papala just out there cruising with almost a 2-second lead. Here comes Seth Hatchell to the inside of the 54. Gonna try and bomb it in there, and we saw what happened to the 21 the last time he dove it down on the inside. He got real loose, but Hatchell able to keep the momentum and almost clear the 54. Not quite yet, but he should be able to get him here. Dives it in turn 1, 54, sails it in as well, trying to get alongside. And not quite able to. Hatchell's going to slam the door. Andrew Melvin almost making contact with the 54. So tight racing between those two as they dive down into turn 3. And Shane Papala still 1.8 seconds out front. Lupe Gonzalez is right behind these drivers, and we see some smoke on the front straightaway. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe something with Billy Walters, who is 30 seconds back. Actually, I'm not totally sure. I think he's only about a second ahead of our leader, Shane Papala. Yep, not too far up the road. Paul Zoda must have had an issue. Looks like he got into the wall, and he is a lap down at the moment. Meanwhile, Seth Hatchell is in second and starting to close the gap on Shane Papala. Andrew Melvin makes his way into third, and McConnell shuffled back to 4th place during all this action. So all kinds of tight racing and tight battling going on here at Chicago in the first stage. The 54 getting loose out of turn 2. Here comes Lupe Gonzalez to the outside with a push from the 3 of Mike Eames. And Lupe, after struggling and dropping nearly outside of the top 10, is now back up into 4th place. And it looks like Andrew Melvin caught the wall just a little bit coming out of turn 4. You can see the back rear, the right rear, just a little bit crumpled up on that truck. Seth Hatchell running more of a middle line now, seeing if he can carry some momentum through these turns, but looks like he might also be struggling with the truck and not able to close on Shane Papala. Back here, looks like Brandon Stokes trying to recover just a little bit and make a pass on Tyler Pluff, who's stuck on the inside line. Pluff washes up the track just a little bit, doesn't have the grip to stay down there and get back in the throttle, and the 21 of Brandon Stokes still alongside him. These two really tight side by side, almost contact. The 12 backs out of it, and he's going to lose a position, maybe 2. It's Timothy Lewis trying to get a stage point here, sitting right there behind him in 11th. Makes a move down to the inside, but looks like Pluff solidly in 10th place for the moment. We had a little contact a little farther up. I'm not sure if it was Mike Eames or not, but Mike has moved up into the top 5, following Lupe through the field here. Mike running up, way up the track. I think this might be one of Mike's best runs that I've seen from him so far. We usually see him run around the bottom half of the top 10 for the majority of the race, and sometimes makes his way towards the front at the very end, but he's got a good charge going right now, up to 5th place. Let's see where he started. Actually started in 6th. We got someone wrecking, I think. Not sure what happened, but I heard somebody sliding around. Maybe Jay Felton. I'm not sure. I heard somebody sliding, but Jay Felton back in 14th. And an uncharacteristic run from the 9 there. As we're about 4 laps to go in this stage. Shane Papala, his lead is shrinking. Seth Hatchell actually starting to close the gap down to 1.4 seconds behind Shane. So the two local boys setting up for a pretty good battle, I think, as this race goes on. Currently running 1-2, Andrew Melvin, another second back in 3rd, and then Lupe Gonzalez in 4th. Mike Eames currently sitting in 5th place, but he's under pressure from Jason McConnell, who ran in 2nd for the majority of this first stage. We're at 3 laps to go. Timothy Lewis has made a move, and he's up inside the top 10, up in 9th place. Tyler Pluff all the way back to 13th. He's got some right side damage, heavy right side damage and front end damage, which means somebody else must have been involved. Here comes Jay Felton up into 12th now. Larry Holloway in 11th. Adam Jones is the last driver. in the top 10 and looking to get stage points. So we've got a driver going down pit road. That's Billy Walters making a pit stop. Maybe a little bit an unscheduled stop, or maybe he's trying to pull some strategy and get some track position here, but I don't know if it's going to work for him, as Shane Papala's coming out of turn 4 and probably going to put a lap on him here, or another lap on him. We're at 1 to go in the stage. Seth Hatchell has dropped back 0.6 or so. He's got some right front damage, maybe made contact with the wall, as Andrew Melvin under fire from Lupe Gonzalez for 3rd place. Lupe going to try and make a move here, I think, as we're going into turn 3. This is the final lap of the stage. And it looks like Lupe sends it in there. Maybe not going to have the run that he needs to get by Andrew. So here comes Shane Papala across the line, and that's going to end the stage. Caution is out. So that is stage 1. No cautions here other than just now for the stage. Let's take a look at where everybody ended up. Shane Papala takes the stage win and gets all those precious bonus points. Seth Hatchell charges up to 2nd place in the stage. Andrew Melvin charges to 3rd. Lupe Gonzalez recovers to 4th. Mike Eames up to 5th. Jason McConnell 6th. Brandon Stokes 7th. Michael Atkins Jr. in 8th. Timothy Lewis 9th. And Adam Jones rounds out the top 10 in the stage. They're catching up to the pace car. I thought I heard somebody blow an engine. Somebody did blow an engine, but I'm not sure who it was. Might have been Tyler Pluff. Yep, Tyler lost his engine going down the backstretch there, trying to coast it down pit road, see if he can get that fixed, but I think he's going to be done for tonight after making a pretty good charge up into the top 10. Papala's going to lead him down pit road, and we are going to cut to a commercial break. Be right back and let you know where everybody comes out. And we are back, still under pace laps right now. Let's take a look at our race summary and see how things have gone. We've only had the 1 lead change where Shane Papala took the lead from the pole sitter Jason McConnell. The 1 caution is just for the end of the stage there. We've got 98 laps to go. So everything's going pretty well here. Let's actually take a look at the weather. We didn't take a look at that earlier, but pretty decent track temp here I don't think anybody's really going to struggle with loose condition with these trucks. I don't think it'll be very slick with an 80-degree track temp. But we do have partly cloudy skies, and we've seen the clouds come in and out. And we're under a little bit of shade here. I don't think we'll end up getting to the point where lights will come on. And Ryan Gemmel is a lap down. Not sure what's going on with him. He's got some rear end damage. I'm not sure if he got hit by Tyler Pluff, and that's what caused all that nose damage to the 12. Gemmel currently scored in 17th, 1 lap down. Billy Walters just taken the wave around to get back to 1 lap down. And we did have quite a bit of a shakeup during the pit cycle. Andrew Melvin came out second. Let's see who else inside the top 10. Seth Hatchell all the way back in 14th, so it's like he got that right side damage fixed during the caution and decided to take it to the back. Jay Felton up inside the top 10 in 9th right now, so maybe Jay is going to start to make a charge towards the front in this second stage. Looking for his first win of the year after coming so close last week. You know, I think he's going to be hungry for one here tonight. I'm sure he's hungry every week, but after coming so close. Yeah, Tyler, thanks for tuning in. I didn't see exactly what happened to you. I just know you had all that front end damage and the engine blew, but I saw Ryan had some rear end damage. Not sure what happened between you guys, if he just got loose or if there was just some contact made. But anyways, we're back under green. Shane Papala got him going, and Andrew Melvin's to the outside. Jason McConnell looking to the inside of Andrew Melvin as they're getting up to speed. That inside line definitely has the advantage for those first 2 turns. And side by side still through 3 and 4. Behind them, Felipe Gonzalez and Brandon Stokes side by side. Timothy Lewis almost peeking 3 wide, and Jay Felton up 2 spots into 7th. Lupe almost getting into the wall. We've got some crazy battles going on right now. Almost 3 wide at points. The 61 looking to the middle of the 9th, and the 53. Felton restarted in 9th, and he's currently up to 6th. Running right there behind Timothy Lewis. Brandon Stokes making his way back up into the top 3 already. So big charge from the 21 to try and gain ground after losing it towards the tail end of that last run. Felipe Gonzalez still up on the high side next to Jay Felton. I think Jay might be able to clear him here coming out of turn 2. Slides up the track. It does cut him off. Felipe doesn't make a move. He just sticks to the back of the 9 as Jay's actually trying to make a move on Timothy Lewis. Those 2 side by side. The 4 almost on the apron. Jay's going to get a big run here coming up on the outside. Timothy able to get a good run on the inside though, and not quite able to clear the 9, but I think he will be able to here. See what Jay's able to do up high. Gets to that quarter panel and whips it around the outside, able to get back up nose to nose with the 4. Has an advantage going down into 3, and they make contact. And Jay Felton gets hit by the 4, able to hold on to it. Oh, and Ron Hollifield gets into it with Larry Holloway. Those 2 wrecking, and that involves Jeff Glockner as well. And I think that's going to end all 3 of their nights. Glockner tows it. Holloway gets going again. Hollifield trying to get it going again. He's stuck down in there in the grass, but all started with the contact between Felton and Timothy Lewis. Let's go take a look back at that and see what happened. We were looking at it when it happened. Just going down into turn 3. 4 goes in a little bit higher than I think Jay was probably expecting, and they make contact. The 11 checks up to stay off of Jay, and I think he got turned. Let's take a look back from this point of view. He checks up hard. The 70 doesn't, gets into him, and then Glockner, expecting there to be an open lane up high, saw that lane close up very quickly. Let's take a look from his helmet cam and see what kind of an impact that was. Let's see him cruising around the high line, the contact farther up, the 11 checks up, and then all of a sudden that lane closes, nowhere for Jeff to go, and he runs into the back of Hollifield. Holloway, really nowhere to go either. Just kind of all happened so quickly. Meanwhile, these guys have been on and off of pit road. Papala comes out first again. Only taking 2 tires, as well as Brandon Stokes and Jason McConnell. Everyone else taking 4. Let's see who else is still sitting there. Gamble gets the lucky dog. And Paul Zoda sitting on pit road trying to get damage fixed. Holloway, Hollifield. Lupe Gonzalez got shuffled back to 11th. Not sure what happened with Lupe. Maybe got a speeding penalty. Looks like he'll actually be inside the top 10 as Gemmel drops back. Probably going to make his pit stop here and get some more of that rear end damage fixed. Yeah, Tyler, sorry that happened to you. It looks like as the run goes on, it definitely gets looser. And so, unfortunate that it worked out like that for you. You're definitely making your way through the field, and we hope you have a little bit better luck next week as we're going to Kentucky. And once again, we want to thank our sponsor here tonight, Capital Auto Repair and Service, for sponsoring the series and the league. They are a full-service auto repair shop in Raleigh, North Carolina, and if you're in the area and need any kind of maintenance or repair, give those guys a call. Seven truck of Billy Walters deciding to take the wave around again. And he's actually going to be back on the lead lap after all that and up to 13th position. So making the most out of it that he can here after going down a couple of laps early. Not sure who that was. It's Michael Atkins making his way down pit road. I'm not sure why he decided to do that. These guys going double file. 6 truck just barely beating the field. Off of pit road there. He's still got a lot of damage on the back end of that truck. It looks like it's kicked out just a little bit as well, so probably going to struggle with the handling as the night goes on. We still have 88 laps to go. Papala has been the man to beat here tonight. He is still out front, leading 44 laps so far out of the 46 that have been run. He's going to be the one to get him going on this restart. And the inside line, definitely the way to go at this track, because you're not even up to speed until you get out of turn 2. And the top 3 have 2 tires. We'll see what happens here. Green flag is back out. Apollo gets him going. Guys are struggling with the loose condition as the run goes on. It may be interesting to see what happens with these top 3 as they get farther into this stage. We've only got 22 to go until the end of the stage. Still making their way out of turn 2. Everybody doing a good job making it through there, and we've got a huge group of trucks packed together here at the very front. Not much in it between. the top 9, only 3/4 of a second separating all those drivers. Now up to a second separating the top 10. Papala starting to stretch the lead. Stokes under fire from the 54 of Jason McConnell. And Seth Hatchell started to make his way through the field again, up into 6th place after getting damage fixed on that one pit stop a couple of stops ago. Making his way underneath Andrew Melvin. Trying to get back into the top 5 here. And already putting pressure on the Ford truck of Timothy Lewis with a big run down the front straightaway. A big gaggle of trucks here as the top 3 have started to break away from this group. But the 54 and 21 still battling pretty heavily up there. And that's not going to help their cause. It's going to just draw them back to that second pack of trucks, and they're going to start to lose Papala. They already have started to lose Papala as he's half a second up the road. Meanwhile, Hatchell's still working on the inside of Andrew Melvin, who's got a push from Lupe Gonzalez on the high side. Jay Felton, after having that contact earlier, shuffled all the way back to the bottom half of the top 10. And it's definitely not a great situation for him, but he didn't stop under the caution there. Or actually, he did. And he did take 4 tires. It doesn't look like he has any damage, so it could have been worse for him. He did a great job saving the truck, and luckily nobody got into him. Right now battling side by side with Adam Jones, who's working on Michael Atkins as well. He's right there in front. Lupe Gonzalez peeking to the inside, and Melvin up there in the 88. Lupe going to be able to make the pass in 3 and 4, slides up in front of Andrew, and Andrew's going to try and make the run back on the outside, but I don't think he's going to have the momentum to do that. As Hatchell did clear him and is starting to work on the back bumper of the Ford truck of Timothy Lewis. Gets to the outside of him here out of turn 2. Timothy gives him plenty of space down the backstretch. Here comes Seth now. Not really diving it into turn 3, actually backed out of it early, but got back into the throttle and getting a big run here coming out of turn 4. Lupe Gonzalez all over his bumper. Seth does have some right rear quarter panel damage, which might be hurting him on the straightaways. It looks like he hasn't been able to keep up with the 4 on the straightaways, but gets a huge run out of the turn, able to clear him completely. And here comes Lupe Gonzalez trying to make the pass as well. Timothy Lewis losing spots. Now out of the top 5 once Lupe Gonzalez completes this pass, which he may be able to do pretty soon here. Andrew Melvin all over the back bumper of the 61 right behind them. I don't know if there was contact, but there was definitely almost contact at the very least. I think he might have been pushing him down the straightaway, but here comes Melvin to the outside, just able to get to the quarter panel, and it looks like it's getting pretty dark here. Let's see if we can get a view from inside of these trucks. We're inside the 61 truck right now. Michael Atkins, who's up 10 spots from where he started, and looking to get by the Ford truck of Timothy Lewis. Also, Jason McConnell still battling with the 21 of Brandon Stokes. This is for 2nd and 3rd. Paula almost a second up the road from these 2 drivers, but Stokes able to clear McConnell for the moment. McConnell gets on the apron. And he's going to lose some momentum because of that. Here comes Seth Hatchell starting to reel those guys in as well. Trying to make his way back up into the top 3 after getting all that damage fixed. I think we're 3 wide back here. Andrew Melvin peaked 3 wide, but decided to back out of it. 61 of Michael Atkins Jr. still trying to make a pass on the 4 of Timothy Lewis, but has not been successful. Timothy running the middle of the track. The 61 really nowhere to go on the exit of the turn and can't get back into the throttle completely. He gets a pretty good run here. Timothy gives him tons of room on that front straightaway. 61's actually going to be in front for the moment as they make their way down into turn 1. 61's going to have to really dive it in and hold it in the throttle coming out of the turn here. Very close on exit. And Andrew Melvin giving the 4 a push down the straightaway, but peaks to the inside now. And I'm going to try and make a move in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Seth Hatchell working on the 54, making his way back through the field. Lupe Gonzalez is not too far behind either, so those drivers really making their way, slicing and dicing and making passes pretty well through this stage of the race. It looks like the cloud cover that was there is gone now, so the track is brightened up just a bit more. Hatchell moves his way into 3rd, completing the pass on the 54 there in turns 3 and 4. And Hatchell and Michael Atkins Jr., the fastest on track, running in the 31.7s. Shane Papala with the 31.9, so not quite up to the pace of those drivers, but still about the same speed as Brandon Stokes, who's in 2nd. We may see that gap start to close. Shane is definitely a good tire saver. We'll see what he's able to do in these last 10 laps. If he can maintain that gap or if they start to reel him in. And top 2 did take 2 tires on that pit stop, as well as Jason McConnell, who's now fallen to 4th, but pretty good run by these guys. Hatchell definitely making up time, though. Last lap he was a 10th faster than Shane, and this time by still a 10th faster, 10th and a half faster. But this battling side by side with the 21 is not going to help either of these guys to try and get a stage win. Hatchell has the advantage coming out of turn 2, trying to make that pass and then chase down Shane Papala. 21's not giving him a ton of room, but Hatchell stuck right to that white line, trying to make the move. Coming out of turn 4, has to back out of it just a bit. 21 getting a big run, also on the apron now. So really not giving a whole lot of space to the 8 truck. And right behind them is the 54 of McConnell, who's got a mirror full of Lupe Gonzalez. Hatchell still working on the inside of Brandon Stokes, trying to make the pass, almost gonna get into him. Oh, I don't know if there was contact. Looked like the 21 got a little wiggly coming out of turn 4. Here comes McConnell back to the outside of Hatchell. Seems like it's just very difficult to make that pass as the run goes on. Just nowhere to go once you get back in the throttle. Meanwhile, Shane Papala still a 2nd up the road from Brandon Stokes, who only has 5 laps to go at the line this time to try and get him for the end of this stage. Hatchell, I think, has the best truck at the moment, but can't make anything happen down on that inside line. And starting to lose quite a bit of ground here. Only a handful of laps to go in this stage. McConnell still working the outside. Lupe Gonzalez all over his bumper. Lupe looking like he was going to try and make a 3rd lane there between these guys. Hatchell getting really loose coming out of the turn. That's going to cost him quite a bit of momentum. Here comes Lupe to the inside, and we'll see what Lupe can do here with 4 laps to go if he can get by Seth. Seth really powers it around the outside, able to hold the spot for the moment. He's going to be able to get back by the 53. Shane Papala still holding on to a 1.1 second lead out in front, and looking like he's on his way to the 2nd straight stage victory here. Hatchell does clear the 53. Here comes 61 to the outside. Lupe. See, Seth's able to make any kind of a charge, get back up into the top 3 here. As the two behind him are battling and may not give a ton of pressure, although here goes the 61, clearing Lupe. Shane Papala with 2 to go, 1.1 seconds ahead. Now 1.2 seconds ahead of Brandon Stokes. So really dominant here tonight. Led 65 out of the 67 laps. The only other two being the pole sitter Jason McConnell, who's currently running in third and under fire from Seth Hatchell, who gets a big run coming out of turn 4, actually dives to the inside. One more to go to the end of the stage. We'll see if Seth able to clear him. He does. And here's the 61 now, right on the bumper. Maybe going to try and make a move. Lupe Gonzalez is right there, looking to the inside of the 61. Not able to get back in the power to get to the inside of him. But 61 gets a big run, makes a move to the inside. Here goes Lupe to the outside. And this is going to be close at the line, I think, between these three drivers. 61 makes a big move down into turn 3. Shane Papala is going to win the stage. Oh, wait. Yep. He's coming up on lap trucks. I thought he maybe got past. Brandon Stokes under fire from Seth Hatchell, but those two finished 2-3. Michael Atkins comes home in 4th in the stage there, making the pass on the 54 of Jason McConnell. So very intense battling there for the last few spots in the top 5, and great job by everybody to stay off of each other. That's going to end stage 2. Shane Papala wins that stage. He wins both stages so far. Really looking very dominant here tonight. Brandon Stokes coming home 2nd in the stage there. Seth Hatchell in 3rd. Michael Atkins Jr. comes home 4th. Jason McConnell 5th. Lupe Gonzalez 6th. Andrew Melvin 7th. Jay Felton 8th. Adam Jones 9th. And Timothy Lewis rounds out the points paying positions there in the stage. As we are under caution for the stage. Had a total of 3 cautions. Just the 1 lead change still between McConnell and Papala. We have 65 laps remaining, and it's probably going to take another pit stop after this one to make it to the end of the race. So there could be some strategy played here, or potentially during the stage itself. Everybody making their way to pit road. We're going to cut to a commercial break and be right back.
Alfala is $10,500 richer. 2-time NASCAR. Is your 2013 NASCAR iRacing done? It's going to be Humpy winning the race, and it's going to be Conti taking away his first NASCAR 2017 NASCAR Beginner Free Series Championship to Ryan Luza. Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Beginner Free iRacing Series.
And we are back. Brandon Stokes winning the race off pit road with a 14.1 second stop. Shane Papala with a 15 flat. So actually not a very good stop for Shane, and he comes out 2nd. McConnell comes out 3rd. Hatchell 4th. Michael Atkins Jr. 5th. Lupe Gonzalez 6th. Jay Felton in 7th. Timothy Lewis 8th. Ryan Gemmel back inside the top 10 in 9th. Looks like he has not been able to get much more of that damage fixed. Andrew Melvin back to 10th. with a 17.9 second stop. So I'm not sure if he was getting damage fixed or if he just missed his box. But not a good stop there for the 88. We still got 13 drivers on the lead lap, Paul Zoda being the last of them in 13th. Adam Jones 12th, I believe, making up a lap here under caution. So it all comes down to this last stage. We're going to have about 60 laps to go when the stage starts. And it's going to be a run to the finish. I don't think they'll be able to make enough fuel, so I think they will have to stop at some point. And we may see some two-tire strategies at that point. We may just see some drivers run a little bit longer and take less fuel. We may see some short pitting, and I think there could be a lot of different options here. But there's definitely fall off with the tires here tonight. You can see the trucks get loose as the run goes on. So be interesting to see how that comes into play. And we want to thank you again for tuning in to SR Broadcasting. This series brought to you by Capital Auto Repair and Service, sponsored for this series and the league here at SOMO. So big thanks to those guys in Raleigh, North Carolina for coming on board and sponsoring this series. So back at the front, pace car is about to dive in. Brandon Stokes going to be the one to get him going. Here he goes. Shane Papala with a great restart on the outside, actually able to stay alongside Brandon and may have a slight nose advantage going down into turn one. Stokes going to do his best to clear him here, but Shane, who's definitely a master at restarts, I think able to stay alongside. Stokes going to lead him down into turn 3, and I think able to clear the 89 at this point. We'll see what he's able to do here once he gets out front. Papala still on the outside, but now clears the 54 and drops into second place. And he's going to be furious to get back to the front after losing it through the pit cycle of all places. And back right behind the Seth Hatchell, all over the bumper of the 54. And he's got a mirror full of the 61 of Michael Atkins Jr. And nowhere really to go for any of these drivers. '61 dives it in there. Seth Hatchell almost making contact, trying to pinch him down. And Jay Felton trying to get back up into the action here. Now into the top 6. We saw him close to the top 5 earlier before he made contact with Timothy Lewis, who is also right behind him. But everybody pretty much single file except for the 53 and the 4 truck behind them. Lupe working the outside line, trying to make something happen. And I think he's going to be able to clear Timothy as they come down the front straightaway. He does clear him. Now going into turn 1. Tim didn't quite get back up into the line. It's going to cost him some momentum on the exit of the turn as he's got Andrew Melvin right behind him now. Hatchell side by side with the 61 of Michael Atkins Jr. Seth able to complete the pass. Coming out of turn 4, dives to the bottom. 61 trying to make the run on the high side, but can't get there. As now Jay Felton is trying to make a move to get up into the top 5. And it seems like Jay has got something figured out in the latter half of this race, as he really struggled earlier. Shane Papala making a move for the lead right now. It's a big run in 3 and 4, and he's really got something figured out tonight. He's really had the truck to beat as the 21 gets to the bumper, trying to move him out of the way. Gets back to the outside, almost contact as they come across the front straightaway there. 21 dives it in. Going to try and get alongside as they come out of turn 2. 89 is going to slam the door on him. 21 almost into the wall. Actually able to keep the momentum up and get back to the outside with a little side draft technique there. And we'll see what he's able to do out of turn 4, but Shane with a half a truck length advantage at the moment. 21 still on his bumper though. And again, going to try and make that move to the outside. I don't think Shane's going to let him have it. 21 gets in the wall, sliding through turns 1 and 2, slams into the wall, and he gets doored by the 61. And I think Brandon just took it behind the wall. And I think the 61 of Michael Atkins maybe got away with one there. I don't see any damage on the front of that truck. Just a little bit on the right side. But let's take a look back, see what happened with Brandon. Just gets into the wall there, overcorrects really hard. And yeah, I think just netcode saved the 61. 21 toes it instantly. Obviously very frustrated with that whole situation, but was making the move on Shane Papala. And hit the bump in the safety barrier, and that's what shot him down the track. And his night over instantly. But it's good news for Papala, who was really under pressure there. And the 21 really his closest competitor here tonight so far. See if anybody pulls any kind of strategy here. We are going to have quite a ways to go, 54 laps to go, as Adam Jones decides to stay out and lead a lap here. Ryan Gemmel as well stays out. But Shane Papala just getting into his box here. See if we can get a better view. Going up on the left sides there. I don't see anyone making their way off pit road with 2 tires. Everybody taking forward. Papala wins the race. And it's going to be close for the spot behind them. It looks like McConnell beats Papala or Hatchell off of pit road. And then Jay Felton right behind them. So Adam Jones making a last-second decision to come to pit road. Gemmel decides to stay out. And yeah, Tyler, the 61, got real lucky. Just phasing through the 21 during that last caution. And doesn't come away with any damage. So sometimes the internet is your friend here in iRacing. Not usually. But as I was saying, the 6 truck of Gemmel with heavy rear end damage, I'm not sure if he's going to even be up to the pace of these leaders, but he's decided to stay out, and I think they're on the 2 to go right now. So the pace car lights are still on. They'll probably get the 1 to go when they get back to the line. Pretty exciting racing here tonight. We've had a total of 4 cautions, 2 of those being for stages, 2 of them for incidents. But each of those involving just 3 trucks or less. Looks like Gemmel is going to come to pit road, so probably a smart move on his part. That's going to send him to the back of the pack for this restart. We've had 5 lead changes, so we've had quite a few more here in this last stage, but Shane Papala has found his way back to the lead. And we only only have 52 laps remaining. I'm not sure if these guys can make it on fuel from here. Maybe Tyler, you could let me know what the fuel mileage is on these guys tonight. Aaron Schaefer, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Everything's going pretty good here. We've had just the 4 cautions tonight. Shane Papala has been very dominant. We've had a handful of other leaders through pit cycles and pit strategy. Jason McConnell, the pole sitter, has found his way back up to 2nd place, and looking to battle Papala here for the win. Seth Hatchell also found his way back up into the top 3 and potentially a challenger here for the win tonight. He's been very strong throughout this race. So pace car coming through turns 3 and 4 right now. Going to be diving to pit road in just a second. Shane Papala is going to get us going again. He's led 74 laps here tonight, looking to seal the deal. Green flag is back out. Papala beats the 54 back to the throttle, and he's going to have a nose out front as they go into turn 1. Seth Hatchell all over the bumper of the 89 right now. Going to try and clear the 54 as well. Jay Felton makes a move down to the inside line to get behind Hatchell. So we haven't seen a whole lot from Jay tonight. I think the highest we'd seen him up to this point was about 6th, but now he's looking to battle for a top 3 spot. So Papala gets a great run through 3 and 4, able to stretch the lead out to about a truck length. And Hatchell still battling side by side with the 54 of Jason McConnell. Not able to clear him there on the front stretch. Dives it down in turn 1. 54 gets a big run on the outside though. Hatchell going to try and clear him here, but not able to. And we're 3 wide. Between the 9, the 54, and the 61, 9 backs out of it. As Hatchell clears McConnell. Didn't see how he was able to do that, but now I think we're pretty wide. Oh, Felton backs out of it again. Probably a smart move. We still got a ways to go, and you don't want to wreck the truck now after all these laps. 61 of Michael Atkins Jr. making the move on the inside of McConnell, who's really lost a lot of ground here on this restart. Felton getting pushed by the 88 of Andrew Melvin, makes a move to the inside, gets on the apron just a little bit, able to hold onto it and keep the momentum and try and make the move here on the front straightaway. Not going to have the position to do it, I don't think, as the 54 still out in front of him. See what Hatchell's able to do now that he's cleared. Everyone is up into 2nd once again. He was a bit faster than Papala earlier in the race and was chasing him down. I think he made a mistake, which cost him quite a bit of time at the end of stage 2, or not, at the end of stage 1. And in stage 2, he was not able to make a couple key passes with the laps winding down. Ended up finishing 3rd in that stage. But starting to close the gap on Papala, running almost a 10th faster that last lap by. And a 61 also running very good laps behind him. Those two the fastest on track. Lupe Gonzalez also back in 9th, running a great lap, but significantly farther back. Not sure what happened to put him so far back. The top, let's see, top 7 here, all single file within a 1.5 seconds of each other. And then it's another 2 seconds back to Billy Walters, who's found his way into 8th place. Just in front of Lupe Gonzalez and Timothy Lewis, fighting for the last spots in the top 10. Paul Zoda also on the lead lap. He's the last truck on the lead lap, actually, back in 11th. Ryan Gemmel 1 lap down in 12th place. And Ron Hollowfield's still out there cruising. He's 2 laps down. Larry Holloway 4 laps down. Those guys involved in that earlier incident. And just trying to finish this one out. So Felton pulled a block there on the 88 of Andrew Melvin going into turn 1, able to hold on to the position for now. Not able to stay on the back bumper of 4th place Jason McConnell. And See what happens as this run goes on, and like I said, I think they're still going to have to make a pit stop before this is all said and done. Paula out in front by 0.4 of a second over Hatchell. But those guys running almost the top three running almost at the exact same time. And nobody really able to get any kind of an advantage. Each of them separated by about 0.3. That's another half second back to Jason McConnell, who's under fire from Felton and Melvin. Not making any moves on each other just yet. Felton gets 2 tires down on the white line there, able to keep it straight. And Melvin peeking to the inside, almost gets into the bumper of the 9 there going into turn 3. So again, Melvin really chomping at the bit, trying to get back by and up into the top 5. Saw him up there just a bit earlier in this race. While looks like the top 3 are starting to close back into each other. Hatchell still around 0.3, but he's under fire from Michael Atkins Jr. Shane taking a wider route through 3 and 4 there. Still some time on entry, and Hatchell closed the gap significantly, now under 0.2 of a second. And the battle is on, a 3-way battle here for the lead. And we've got side by side a little farther back between Felton and McConnell. And I am not able to stay in the throttle like you'd want. Close to the 54 on the exit of the turn there. And Andrew Melvin really nowhere to go at the moment. Just waiting for somebody to make some progress here in this battle. Back behind all that is Adam Jones. Just cruising all by his lonesome there in 7th. Timothy Lewis and Felipe Gonzalez did get by Billy Walters, so Billy back into 10th place, last truck on the lead lap. And Paul Zoda is taking it behind the wall, it looks like. Calling it a night. It's going to move Larry Holloway up into 12th and Ron Hollifield up into 11th. Back at the front. Still these 3 trucks racing it out. Papala has been dominant here tonight, and he hasn't had this kind of pressure at any point other than from Brandon Stokes during the last run. And Hatchell really putting the pressure on now, though. He gets a big run out of turn 2 within a truck length of the 89. The peak's going a little bit lower going into 3 and 4. It looks like Papala starting to struggle on this end of the track. As Hatchell gets a big run. Gonna be right on the bumper of the 89, maybe try and make a move. Gets to the outside. And here we go, trying to make a move on Papala, who's been the leader here all night. And I don't think he's actually been passed for the lead by anyone until just now, as Hatchell clears the pass, or clears the 89 for the lead. Here comes the 61 to the outside. Hatchell with a power move to take the lead here. Going to lap 100 out of 135. The 61 back on the outside, trying to make the move to get up into 2nd place. Papala all the way down to the grass, trying to get every advantage he can to hold on to that spot. Seeing the lead slip away now as Hatchell clears him completely. Gets back down to the bottom line, is going to start stretching that gap. You can see the 89 struggling in the center of the turn. He can't quite keep it down. And I'd be interested to see if he's trying to pull any kind of a fuel strategy. See if he can make it on fuel. It's hard for me to tell what kind of throttle level he's got going right now. We'll listen to the truck. He's not shutting it off or coasting, so not trying to save fuel, just kind of burned up the tires, I think, and Hatchell able to hold on to the tires a bit better. 61 still trying to make the pass here for 2nd place. Papala has the preferred line at this point in the run now. But the longer those two battle, the farther Hatchell should be able to stretch the lead, but he hasn't gotten away just yet. As the 61 does clear Papala, and Jay Felton starting to close in on this battle. Andrew Melvin not too far back either. 6 are all under 2 seconds apart. And then it's about 2.5 seconds back to Adam Jones in 7th. And a ways back to Timothy Lewis and Lupe Gonzalez in 8th and 9th. But those guys may be trying to save fuel, potentially make it to the end of the race here. We've seen Lupe and Tim do that before. Hatchell is really under fire now by Michael Atkins, who started towards the back in this race. 17th. He's made his way up to 2nd now and is really putting pressure on Hatchell for the lead. Hatchell doing a good job right now, able to keep about a 1 truck length gap over the 61. But you can see he's starting to struggle on that end of the track as well in 3 and 4, not able to increase that distance over the 61. Hatchell really good on this end of the track, able to stretch that gap just a little bit, going down the back stretch now up to a truck length and a half, maybe 2, going down into turn 3. But Papala also hasn't really let these guys get away, although you can see him really starting to struggle on the entrance of turn 3 there. Hatchell not getting a great run, and the 61's all over his bumper, trying to make move to the outside, and doesn't quite get there. Hatchell blocks him going into the turn, but the 61 trying to pull a crossover. Not going to be able to make it work, but still all over the bumper of the number 8. Making a move now to the inside. And not really in position to make a move, but dives it in there. And Papala's coming to pit road. Oh, struggling, loses it going into the pits. And that's going to cost him the race. That's going to be, I think, unsafe pit entry, also potentially speeding. And it looked like it was a late decision by Papala. I don't think anybody else is coming with him either. So we'll see what happens, how long he sits on pit road, but that's really going to cost him here tonight. Looked like the favorite to win. Not even end up on the lead lap after all that. We'll see what happens with the penalties. Hatchell still holding on to the lead. 61 is all over the back bumper, and Jay Felton not too far back either. Waiting for something to happen between these two and his opportunity to arise. Hatchell goes to the inside there, not really sure what that was, maybe just trying to break the draft. Oh, just barely out of the way of the 61. Is he going to make the same mistake as Papala? Oh, locks him up getting in. We'll see if he gets any kind of a speeding penalty. That was really close. And meanwhile, Felton now up into 2nd after Hatchell pits. And Michael Atkins Jr. leading his first laps of the race. Shane Papala had a 30-second stop, so it looks like it was just a speeding penalty. And we're under caution. I think it was Ron Hollifield. I saw somebody back there, Billy Walters. I'm not sure. Let's go take a look. But we are under caution. That's going to change everything. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like the 7 truck just getting loose. Coming out of turn 4. We lost him there for a second, sliding back across the track, trying to save it, and does, but there were drivers coming by. He gets into the wall, trying to get back up to speed. Caution had come out at that point, so just lost it on his own, bringing out the caution during the pit cycle, and that's going to trap some of our leaders a lap down, like Seth Hatchell, who was on pit road, and will now have to take the wave around unless he's the lucky dog, which may be the case. Let's see what happens here. Papala also trapped a lap down. Actually maybe got lucky to not get trapped 2 laps down during all of that. And it looks like Jason McConnell's gonna be the lucky dog after all of that. So Seth Hatchell and Shane Papala, Timothy Lewis, all trapped 1 lap down. Gonna have to take the wave around here. It's gonna leave the 61-year leader here. Jay Felton finds himself in 2nd place. You're having quite an eventful night so far. And I believe he started towards the back as well. Yes, started 15th. So our top 2 drivers started 15th or worse. Lupe Gonzalez started 4th, and he's found his way back up into the top 3. And Andrew Melvin 4th. Jason McConnell, who was the pole sitter, getting the lucky dog after that caution, finds his way back into the top 5. Adam Jones is still out there as well. He's going to be 6th place. And I'm not sure. I think Billy Walters may be on the lead lap as well. Probably trying to get some of the damage fixed from that incident. The leaders are working past him right now, so Walter's going to end up going a lap down through all this. And we're still 1 to go, or 2 to go until green, I think. We will have 23 to go in the race. We've had 8 lead changes so far, and the favorites to win getting trapped a lap down during that pit cycle because of the self-spin by the number 7. So huge turn of events, and I believe we're going to end up with a different winner than we expected here tonight, although the 61 has been very strong here in these last few laps. He was putting tons of pressure on the number 8. And sometimes you need some luck on your side, and it looks like he's going to get some of it. See if Felton has anything for him, or Lupe Gonzalez. Those drivers kind of just minded their own business here tonight, and have been all throughout the field in this race. So Lupe looking for another win on the season, and Jay looking for his first, as well as Michael Atkins. I believe he's looking for his first. After starting on the pole and leading early last week, he's in a good position here late to potentially steal this one away. Paula has a few laps on the tires, so he's going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage compared to some of these other guys. They're making their way back around to catch the tail end of the field. Field working out of turn 2, double file. Right now we're going to be at 23 to go when we come back to the green here. So enough time to make some moves, but might be not enough time for those drivers who were trapped a lap down to make their way through everyone else. As we have 9 trucks on the lead lap and 12 still running here tonight out of the 18 that started. See Hatchell, Lewis, and Paula all catching up in the field there. 7th, 8th, and 9th. The last 3 on the lead lap. Michael Atkins Jr. going to be the one to get him going here. Green flag is back out. Felton gets a good start along the outside. He's getting a push from the 88 of Andrew Melvin. Looks like the 9 gets through the gears just a little bit better. Able to keep the nose right next to the 61. Trying to pinch him down and stay alongside coming out of turn 2. And I think he will be able to. He's still got the nose next to the quarter panel. And it's a 6-car battle up here from the front. Felton's still on the outside. Now he's got Lupe Gonzalez to contend with for 2nd place. Lupe making a move here late. 61 dives across the track. The 53 and the 9 close to each other right there up the banking. Almost making contact going into turn 1. Very close there. Meanwhile, behind them, Andrew Melvin and Jason McConnell racing side by side. I think on the outside line, although does not get a good run going into turn 3. Of course, here, although Melvin gets a big run to the outside, makes it move down to the inside now. Huge run Stokes coming up the bank and going to try and make the pass here, going through 1 and 2. 54 pinching him down just a bit. It's going to be contact. 54 sideways, not able to hold on to it. Melvin's in the wall. Caution is back out. And that's going to help some of those drivers that ended up a lap down. We've got contact between Holloway and Hollofield after all that. And let's go take a look. Looked like it was just contact between Andrew Melvin and Jason Palmer there. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Just into turns 1 and 2, you can see Andrew Melvin right there down on the white line. 54 comes down to try and hold him there. Doesn't quite come back up the track as far as I think Melvin was expecting. They get into each other. 54 head first into the wall. And Andrew Melvin also getting quite a bit of damage. Hatchell able to navigate around that, as well as Adam Jones. Looks like Andrew Melvin actually got his spot back after all that, but he's going to have to come in here and try and get some of that fixed. Heavy right front damage. We'll see what kind of strategy these drivers pull. See some tube tire strategy, as that was a very short run, just 2 or 3 laps. Hatchell getting a shot from the 89, but didn't really have 8, couldn't go anywhere, so see what happens here. Watching everybody get into their box. Apollo's in his box cleanly. Melvin, Hatchell as well. And Adam Jones taking 2 tires. Jason McConnell. It's still sitting there. I thought he took 2. Adam Jones taking 2 is going to be your leader here. Lupe Gonzalez comes out 2nd. Michael Atkins Jr. comes out 3rd after entering as the leader. Felton comes out 4th. Hatchell in the top 5 with Shane Papala and Timothy Lewis right behind him. All these drivers going to be on fresh tires now. Adam Jones trying to pull the strategy late here and maybe steal a win away, which would be very unexpected. That's 49 Chevron Toyota, currently your leader. Too many laps to go, but it's just enough that he might start to struggle as this run goes on. Yeah, well, we got a little time. Let's just do a full rundown with where people started and where they're running currently. So Adam Jones, currently the leader, started all the way back in 16th. He's led 2 laps. Lupe Gonzalez started 4th, currently running 2nd. Michael Atkins Jr. started 17th. He's currently up to 3rd. He's led 10 laps here tonight. Jay Felton started 15th, up to 4th right now. Seth Hatchell started 7th, currently running 5th. He was the leader before that pit cycle that changed everything up. He's led 8 laps. Papala started 3rd, currently running 6th, but was definitely the most dominant truck here so far tonight. It's not over yet, and he can find his way back to the front. He's led 88 laps. Timothy Lewis started 8th, currently running 7th. Jason McConnell started 1st after getting involved in that last incident. Now currently running 8th. He has led 2 laps here tonight. Andrew Melvin started 5th, currently 9th. I believe he has actually called it a night and is going to be out of it. Probably going to end up 11th or 12th. Ron Hollifield currently in 10th place, 2 laps down. He started 10th. Holloway started 13th, currently running 11th, 4 laps down. Billy Walters started 12th, going to end up 12th. Paul Zoda started 18th, going to finish 13th. Gemmel started 2nd, finished 14th tonight. Brandon Stokes going to finish 15th. Glockner 16th. Mike Eames 17th, and Tyler Pluff in 18th. So Adam Jones going to be the one to get him going on this restart. Could be very interesting on those 2 tires. See what he's able to do if he can hold off these real fast drivers. Some of them hungry for their first win of the year, some of them hungry for another win. Adam Jones. Let's actually take a quick look here. He's not in the top 10 in points. I think he is just outside of the top 10. Looking for a way into the playoffs here this season. We've seen some solid runs from him, and now he's in position to potentially steal this win. Green flag's about to come out, and there it is. Lupe Gonzalez gets a huge run on the outside, times the restart perfectly, and actually able to steal the lead away from the 49 for the moment, but we've got almost 3 wide right behind these guys. Being a banging door to door right now. 16 laps to go. Lupe Gonzalez trying to take the lead from Adam Jones, who's now going to be stuck in the middle. The 61 now to the inside. Here's Lupe Gonzalez on the outside. 3 wide. 61 gets down there, pinched down to the inside. Adam Jones sliding up the track. Everybody able to stay off of him. We're 4 wide. Still 4 wide. This might not work very well. And they make it. So great driving by everybody there. But Adam Jones losing tons of ground after 1 lap, all the way back to 5th place. And the 61 of Michael Atkins Jr. finds his way back to the lead. And Seth Hatchell all over his bumper. So Hatchell has made his way back up to where he was running before. Gonzalez now under fire from Shane Papala, who's recovering nicely from getting trapped a lap down as well. And I think the favorites to win are going to be the top 3 as Paula clears the 53. Jay Felton clears Adam Jones, making it to the top 5 as well, just behind them. And Timothy Lewis, he's racing right now with 54 of Jason McConnell. We'll see what happens there as this run goes on. But right now, the 61 of Michael Atkins Jr. is in the lead. Hatchell is trying to chase him down and put him under pressure, like he just put, like the 61 put him under pressure earlier. Papala trying to close back in and get back out front after leading so many laps here tonight, trying to seal the deal and not let this one slip away. Gonzalez solidly running in 4th, not really letting Papala get too far, but he's going to be under pressure from Felton here in just a minute. Felton all over his bumper, almost making contact. Lupe gets loose through 3 and 4 into the wall. Coming out of turn 4, Felton able to get the run, and he's going to be able to clear him here and move up into 4th. And Lupe back into 5th place, and we got a little contact farther back. Adam Jones and Jason McConnell. 54 with all that damage, still doing all right. Trying to get back into the top 6 here. But it's a 3-truck breakaway. All these trucks within 3/10 of each other, and Jay Felton about 6/10 back. He's hoping these guys start racing each other so he can catch up. Hatchell is under serious pressure from Shane Papala, who really does not want to let this one slip away as we're coming to almost 10 to go. This race winding down, really heating up here for the battle for the lead. These 3 drivers have been the class of the field all night. 3 major lap leaders here. Yeah, it's not really a surprise that they found their way up here, but Jay Felton is closing the gap to Shane Papala, and Lupe Gonzalez as well is holding on to Jay for the moment, so this could end up being a 5-car battle for the win, as we've seen Jay and Lupe be pretty good on the long run here tonight and able to close back in on the drivers in front of them. Pretty much nose to tail for the top 3. Hatchell trying to find a way around the 61, and then the 89 trying to find a way around the 8, and nowhere to go right now. Somebody's gonna have to make a bold move, but they're gonna have to get a good run first to be able to do that. Hatchell trying to get a good run coming out of turn 2 here. All over the back bumper of the 61. I'm not sure if we'll see any kind of a bump and run at any point in this race. This track has been known for it in the last couple of years in the Cup Series. Hatchell is right there. It's inches between those trucks.
trying to make a move to the outside. Nowhere to go. Papala now looks to the inside of the 8. Hatchell running the high line, which has not been the fast way through this set of turns. Papala able to get to the inside, but not able to hold it there as Hatchell able to clear him. It's a big run going into turn 3, but nowhere to go with it. So somebody's going to have to try something. Papala loses momentum through that set of turns. Loses a couple truck lengths. Here comes Hatchell to the outside, trying to get to the quarter panel, but can't do it. This is a crazy battle up here for the lead. We're at 7 laps to go. And they're coming up on lap traffic. That's going to be Billy Walters, who's back out on track. He's just going to let those guys by, so a classy move there by the 7 to not interfere at all. Hatchell is pushing the 61 down the straightaway. Meanwhile, Felton and Gonzalez closing in on this 3-truck battle. It's going to be 5 trucks before the end of this thing. We're at 6 laps to go. Hatchell with a good run here in turns 1 and 2, able to get underneath the 61. Here comes the 89 as well. This has not been the way around, though. The high line has been the way to go as the run goes on. We'll see what Hatchell's able to do. 61 cuts him off, and there's contact. These trucks all involved. 89 checks up. Here comes Lupe Gonzalez and Jay Felton. They're all involved. We got 6 to go. No caution for that. Michael Atkins robbed of this one. He's going to be at least 5th place, maybe worse. Lupe Gonzalez makes his way into 2nd, able to clear Shane Papala, but there might be contact here. Lupe able to clear the 89. Here comes Shane back on the inside. Jay was not able to take advantage and gain really any positions under that whole exchange, but Lupe going to try and find his way back to the front. Seth Hatchell has the most wins on the season and is the points leader, trying to extend his lead as we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Papala trying to get another win in the bag here. Same thing for Gonzalez, and Jay Felton trying to get his first 4 laps to go in this one. Hatchell was one of the strongest last week, potentially should have won the race, and had a couple of issues throughout that race that sent it back, and he charged it back for a 2nd place finish in that one. Looking for a win here as Lupe Gonzalez gets in the wall. Shane Papala able to clear him. Here comes Jay Felton as well. So huge turn of events here in these last handful of laps. 3 to go now. Seth Hatchell is out in front by 0.4 of a second, so unless Shane Papala can find something deep, Jay Felton gets loose there. Here comes Lupe Gonzalez back on the outside, trying to make a move, dives to the inside now. I think he's going to have a pretty good run here in 3 and 4, but Jay able to hold him off for the moment. Trucks looking like they get sneaky loose at the exit of the turn. Shane Papala not closing the gap that lap, and 2 to go now. He's going to have to gain 1/4 of a second each time. I think there's contact between Felton and Gonzalez, and they keep it straight and going, and Felton able to hold on to 3rd place. Meanwhile, Shane Papala trying to close the gap. Seth Hatchell trying to extend the gap, and he moves out to a 5.5 lead over Papala, running a 10th faster that lap. So Hatchell's really found the speed as we're 1 to go, looking for his 4th victory of the year and trying to extend his points lead. It looks like it's probably going to happen as Papala really has nothing, and he's too far back to make any kind of a move here in 3 and 4. Seth Hatchell making his way through the last 2 turns, stealing this one away in the last 8 laps. Comes away with his 4th win of the year. Seth Hatchell wins at Chicago. The 2 hometown boys come home 1-2. Jay Felton comes away with a 3rd place finish, and Lupe Gonzalez 4th. Timothy Lewis ends up with a top 5, and Jason McConnell 6th. Adam Jones 7th. Michael Atkins, after getting all that right side damage, ends up 8th here. Hollifield 9th. Larry Holloway 10th. Billy Walters, the last truck running on track, ends up 11th, 13 laps down. So what an exciting battle. 3 trucks there at the end. Ended up being pretty much a 5-truck battle in the last 5 laps, and it all came down to that little bit of contact between Hatchell and the 61, and Hatchell ends up taking the win after that here at his home track. They're coming up just a little bit short of last week. So Seth Hatchell is going to be your winner here tonight. Started 7th, led 14 laps. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with our interviews to hear from these drivers. All right, and we are back. I don't believe our third place finisher, Jay Felton, will be able to get us an interview here tonight. It looks like he's not in the team speak here, so we're going to go with our second place finisher, Shane Papala. This is Adam in the SR booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Shane. Well, you dominated here tonight. You looked like the man to beat for the majority of the race and just come up a little bit short there at the end. What kind of happened there? I know you got caught in the pits a little early, so what was the plan in that last stage?
Well, I figured Seth was really fast. I thought the only way I was going to leapfrog him again was to pit early and try to gain some time on fresh tires and have him run me down, but didn't work out that way. Caution came out. Just kind of bad luck, kind of how it's been all year. Just crazy stuff keeps happening. And then I was following those two, and I had a feeling they're going to make contact. And I kept telling myself, back up just a little bit, back up just a little bit. And then I was just too close to make a move on him. If I thought about going high, but I thought he was going to slide high, and just we all got bottled up right there. And then Seth got going a little faster than I did after that contact. So I just couldn't run him back down.
Yeah, you definitely had the truck hooked up to here tonight, and it looked like you were going to run away with it. And really, the only competitors you had throughout the race were Seth in that first stage, and then the 21 was pretty quick there in the second stage and was giving you a run for your money. And he got into the wall, but it seemed like you had the truck hooked up. How was it kind of handling for you tonight?
I was definitely better when the sun was out. Once the sun went down, I just got way too tight. I couldn't get it to roll, especially through 1 and 2. And I knew that's where Seth was really beating me, and I couldn't figure out what he was doing. So I got to go back do some more homework. But I've tried to win this race or this track so many times, and I keep coming up second. So it's my hometown. So I'm hoping one day I'll maybe get that win here.
Yeah, I think it's Seth's home track as well. So the hometown boys come home 1-2. You don't come out on top, but we're going to Kentucky next week. What are your thoughts for maybe going out there?
It should be pretty similar, really. I know it drives a lot like Iowa. It's a big Iowa, really. It's the way the bumps are and everything like that. So I know there's a lot less grip there than it used to be, kind of like here. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, you've been one of the guys to beat this year. You're sitting comfortably inside the top 8 with the win earlier this year at Daytona, so I think you should be solid moving into the playoffs. But what's going to be kind of your tactic here for these next few races?
Oh man, I don't know. I need to find some four-leaf clovers or something. I just don't have any luck. It seems like this year I've been caught up in a lot of wrecks. Just hit the wall myself a few times. Just been a lot of weird stuff happening. I just can't really seem to get a handle on these trucks the way they drive. So I'm just gonna keep plugging away at it and hopefully maybe hit a hot streak. You just never know. Sometimes it could turn in your favor. So I'm just gonna keep hoping for that and just keep plugging away and hopefully to be there at Homestead.
Yeah, you did win the championship in this series a couple years ago, so I mean you're always a competitor when you come out here. So we look forward to seeing what you can do next week. But congrats on the second place finish here tonight. I know it's not the win, but you led the most laps here by far. You also won the first 2 stages, so tons of bonus points coming your way. So that'll be helpful for the playoffs. But before we let you go to celebrate the second place finish, anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you and SR Broadcasting for taking the time to broadcast our races, to get it out to our audience. It's great to go back and watch. You guys do a great job. I'd like to thank everybody at SOMO Racing League, the admins, Paul, especially for putting up with all of us and letting us race during the week and have a lot of fun. Capital Auto for coming around and sponsoring the series this year. That was a big commitment. We really appreciate that. Got to thank Coffee and Glitter Mom, my wife, my son for letting me have my hobbies, have some dad time.
All right, Shane. Well, great run here tonight. Came up just a little short, but I'm sure another win is coming soon for you. So we wish you the best of luck moving forward, and we expect to see you out here next week. So have a good night.
All right, thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, so that was our second place finisher there, Shane Papala. Coming up a little bit short in this one, but we're going to be bringing in our winner here tonight. Seth Hatchell, Adam in the SR booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Seth, you kind of stole this one away here in the end. You definitely had the speed throughout the race, but kind of run us through what happened there in those last handful of laps.
Yeah, that's not the way I wanted to win. I definitely didn't want to wreck him. I wanted to pass him clean. I knew I was going to have to probably do it on the outside, but laps were winding down, and I had to start taking some chances. And so I got a run on him off of 2 there. And, I mean, I was next to him, just barely next to him, pretty much all the way down the backstretch. And looking back at the replay, he did get clear just barely going into 3. I never heard it from my spotter. And, of course, with, I think, 4 laps to go, I wasn't going to live. So I definitely didn't want to wreck him, but it's just what ended up happening. I tried to stop. I got on the brakes, but he was already turned around. But in the end, I think I definitely had the speed to win. That doesn't always get you the win, but pretty happy with the finish, though.
Yeah, I think you and Shane were the 2 fastest trucks out here. In that first stage, you were really the only one in the same zip code. And at the end, it seemed like it was just kind of a racing deal. And, I'm sure you guys can work that out. But, I mean, you were very fast, especially on the long run. It seemed like you had a little bit something for Shane. He kind of burned the tires up at the tail end of the run. And it seemed like you were able to get the track position on him there in that final stage. But you were just in the right place, right time, and made it work. But how did the truck handle for you here tonight? I mean, it seemed like you had a pretty good handle on it yourself.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It'd get a little snug through the center, and of course, it'd be like a push loose coming off the corners later in a run. But it's a shame we never got a long enough run. I was hoping I could run Shane down, especially like the end of that first stage. I was starting to reel him in a little bit, and I want to see if I could pass him. I think I only passed him once during green flag, but it is what it is. It was a lot better than I thought it'd be, and for a mile and a half, we had to lift a lot more than I thought we would. So I think that's what made the racing so good tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people were tight on the beginning of the run, and then as it would progress, we'd see drivers start to lose the back end. I think the 6 of Ryan Gemmel lost it. We saw the 7 spin out once, and we saw a couple other drivers kind of lose the handle on it. But it seemed like you and Shane and a few other drivers were really quick and consistent as the run would wear on. And, you guys proved to be the fastest and finished up front tonight. This is your 4th win of the year.
So congratulations on that. You were the points leader coming in, and I'm sure that points lead will be extended. So playoffs are coming up. What are your thoughts and mindset going into that?
Got to keep working, because if I stop trying to get better, all these guys are gonna keep working to start winning. So I got to keep working, and as much as these wins are nice now, they don't mean anything once the chase starts. So got to keep winning, got to keep working.
Yeah, I think they'll put you in pretty good position once the chase starts, but yeah, as it progresses, those bonus points, I don't think they carry over here. So I'm sure you're going to be a contender throughout the rest of the season, and you've really proved to be one of the top guys here already this season, and basically your entire tenure here in SOMO Racing League. And so congratulations on the win here tonight. After a great run, you started 7th and you ended up leading 14 laps as well. But before we let you go celebrate this win, anybody you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I got to thank you, Adam, and SR Broadcasting for doing a great job with the broadcasting. Got to thank Paul, all the admins, all the sponsors of this league, especially Capital Auto for sponsoring this series. Got to thank all the great drivers. Got to thank my team, MB Motorsports.
Awesome, Seth. Well, we expect to see you run well again next week at Kentucky, another 1.5 miles, and throughout the rest of the season. Congratulations on the win here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so that was our winner, Seth Hatchell. Coming away with the win, his 4th on the season, and going to extend his points lead pretty significantly over Lupe Gonzalez, who came home 4th tonight. Let's quickly go over the results here to take a look at who finished where. Seth Hatchell comes away with the win, kind of stealing it there in the end, making a little bit of contact with Michael Atkins Jr. Kind of just a racing deal, but those guys will figure it out if anybody's upset. I'm sure they can work it out. But coming down to the end, you really got to go for it. And Seth put the truck where he needed to be and came away with the win. Shane Papala winning the first 2 stages and leading the most laps here tonight was one of the guys to beat. Comes home 2nd. Jay Felton earns a very good 3rd place finish after kind of running outside the top 10 for at least the first half of the race. Lupe Gonzalez comes home 4th. Timothy Lewis earns the top 5 here tonight. Jason McConnell comes home 6th. Adam Jones 7th. Michael Atkins Jr. after that contact comes home 8th. Ron Hollowfield comes home 9th. And Larry Holloway, last car in the top 10. Billy Walters, last car running on track, comes home 11th. Andrew Melvin finishes 12th. Paul Zoda 13th. Ryan Gemmel 14th. Brandon Stokes 15th. Jeff Glockner 16th. Mike Eames 17th, and Tyler Pluff going to be the last driver here tonight, finishing in 18th. So once again, this has been the Capital Auto Repair and Service Truck Series by the SOMO Racing League from Chicagoland. We thank you so much for tuning in. This has been SR Broadcasting. We've got a few races coming up before our next one here next Wednesday. So we'll be at Kentucky in the Capital Auto Repair and Service Truck Series next Wednesday. We're going to be with the Paskies Racing League a couple times in between now and then. We're also going to be with the Die Hard Racing League at Texas on Sunday. So come out for that one. They put on a great show as well. But this has been a great race. We saw a lot of tight battles here tonight. Not a surprise from the SOMO Racing League to see these great drivers putting on a great show once again. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, have a good night.